What if I told you Android's sweet, long-standing tradition of dessert codenames just took a delightfully unexpected turn? Prepare yourselves for a fresh batch of news, because Android 17 isn't just on the horizon. It's bringing a familiar, yet entirely new, flavor to the table. For years now, we've all secretly looked forward to the next Android release, not just for the features, but for the dessert it would represent. From cupcake to donut, eclair to froyo, and all the way through pie, Oreo, and even marshmallow, these sweet treats gave each version a unique, memorable identity. While Google eventually shifted away from publicly branding their Android releases with these names, the tradition lives on internally. And now we have a delicious new piece of intel, straight from a trusted source within Google, and first reported by Android Authority. The internal codename for Android 17 has finally emerged. Get ready to wrap your head around this one. It's Cinnamon Bun. Now, if you're like us, you might be scratching your head. Android 16, which we expect next year, will carry the codename Baklava, a lovely bee name. So, why are we jumping to Cinnamon Bun for Android 17, seemingly skipping W, or whatever letter would normally follow Baklava in a simple alphabetical progression? Well, the answer lies deep within Google's engineering labs and a significant shift in how they develop Android. They've recently transitioned from their old branch-based development model to something new they call trunk stable. Think of it less like individual roads merging and more like a single, constantly evolving superhighway where new features are built behind virtual feature flags, essentially hidden until they are ready for prime time. Google fully completed this migration with Android 14 QPR2. To mark this fundamental change, they reset the entire build ID scheme. What does that mean for us? Android 14 QPR2, which arrived in 2024, became build ID AP1A, that A stands for 2024. Now, by this point, Android 14 already had its public moniker, Upside Down Cake, and Android 15 was already earmarked as Vanilla Ice Cream. So, it was too late to restart the dessert naming convention with an A for those versions. But when the calendar turned to 2025, the build IDs naturally started with B, and Google, seizing the opportunity, decided to christen Android 16 with a B name, Baklava. So you see where this is going, right? When 2026 rolls around, the build IDs will kick off with the letter C. And with Cupcake already a delicious memory from Android 1.5, Cinnamon Bun became the perfectly spicy, sweet choice for Android 17. It's a fascinating look at how internal development changes can ripple all the way out to something as seemingly trivial, yet beloved, as a dessert codename. While Google no longer uses these names for public branding, they remain a charming nod to Android's history and a fun internal tradition. We expect Android 17, our delectable Cinnamon Bun, to land sometime around June 2026. Plenty of time to anticipate those features, and maybe even bake a batch of your own to celebrate. Ultimately, these dessert names might not drive adoption or features, but they offer a delightful peek behind the curtain at Google's playful side, reminding us that even the most complex tech still has a human touch. What's your favorite Android dessert codename from years past? Do you think Cinnamon Bun hits the spot? We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can find us and all the latest tech news wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next tech deep dive. Until then, keep exploring and stay curious.